What's up? It's your boy. It is Wednesday, I believe. Let's go through the market. Looks like retail is chasing the ASML semiconductor high while dismissing the risk of an open US-Iran shooting war, targeting the Fifth Fleet Command headquarters as eurozone and Japanese industrial data contract sharply, capitals silently fleeing to structural energy insulation and military supply chains rather than broad equity beta. So we're checking out this morning. Let's see. Intel seeing some high volume with the ASML. Timing wise, looks pretty good. XLE, we'll go into that in a second. ITA obviously is the benefiting from all the war drama. And then the Euro USD seems to be a short position as we're seeing contraction in eurozone industrial production to negative 1.2 year over year, which is interesting. Let's see here. Let's check out some other stuff going on. XLE is pretty interesting because yesterday we saw the CPI print, and we saw yesterday, we had called this on Twitter where this is really just going to kind of shove it off, shrug it off. And that's exactly what we saw yesterday. Price opened up above, price went down to test. We see a hammer form, close positive, and the POC is right at a few pennies away from where it closed. So pretty interesting. We have a position in this. We have a target at 58.86. We might move to like another broader position since we are seeing strength off the 200-day. We're going to look into that this morning. Technically it is lower lows, but we'll just go into that and see what happens. Yesterday was probably the first day that I did not have a position open or closed. Kind of just sat everything out. Didn't really focus on a lot of entries. We had a few orders, but nothing really popped off. So let's go through and see what's going on with the positions that we have. Looks like CVS. We have a second position in that, and we had a high volume hammer. So that's looking pretty decent, but pre-market's way down. So we're just going to keep the stops in place and go from there. Okay, XLF was a golden cross. Okay, PLCE. Let's see what we have here. More of a low volume pullback. Pre-market's pretty much a close there. It is a upthrust. So stop loss remains. XLE, we've been in XLE for 6 days. We're just at 2.3% unrealized. We had just looked at that chart. Looking good. I think we'll eventually hit 558. SRRK looks to be pulling back here. Pre-market's flat. Stop loss remains. XLV, we're into this healthcare trade. We're underwater on this. Looks like we're going to be stopped out. That's a bummer. Microsoft saw some bids yesterday as people seem to be moving into the growth. We might be starting to consolidate here. So CVS, we just looked at that. PBI, Consolidator. Okay, this is a fantastic chart. Low volume, pullback, higher highs, higher lows. This is great. So let's look at PBI for a second. We had an entry on the 12th, basically targeting that consolidation range. We got filled, and then price went up, had a pullback on low volume. Price went back up, equally high volume on the pull out of the range. We would expect it to come back and test. It tested even lower underneath our fill, basically retesting the 23rd. And then we saw continued volume going up, and now volume pulling back, lowering volume with the pullback. So this is looking good. I'm going to see where this goes today and then consider moving the stop. Since we're not way out of our fill, we're still kind of hovering around. The thesis is still not fully proved, but it is looking good on the VSA's perspective. So NTB, pre-market down considerably, indecisive candle, stop spot.